Morning, penguins. I hope you're all doing well. Let's read chapter 6, The Frenchman. They were all waiting on the veranda, his mother in her nightgown, his father in his hat, his horse saddled, ready to come after him. "I've set him free," Bertie cried. "I've set him free so we won't ever have to live behind bars." He was sent to his room at once, where he threw himself on his bed and buried his face in his pillow. Day after day his father went out looking for the white lion, but each evening he came back empty-handed and blazing with fury. "What'll I tell the Frenchman when he comes, eh? Did you think for 1 minute of that, Bertie, did you? I should strap you. Any father worth his salt would strap you." But he didn't. Bertie spent all day and every day at the fence, or up his tree in the compound, or at his bedroom window, his eyes scanning the field for anything white moving in the grass. He prayed at his bedside every night until his knees were numb, prayed that his white lion would learn how to kill, would somehow find enough to eat, would avoid the hyenas and the other lions too. Come to that. Above all, he prayed he would not come back, at least not until the Frenchman from the circus had come and gone. The day the Frenchman came, it rained. The first rain in months, it seemed. Bertie watched him as he stood there dripping on the veranda, his thumb hooked into his waistcoat pocket, as Bertie's father broke the news that there was no white lion to collect, that he had escaped. That was the moment when Bertie's mother put her hand to her throat, cried out and pointed. The white lion was wandering through the open compound gate, yowling pitifully. Bertie ran to him and fell on his knees and held him. The lion was soaked to the skin and trembling. He was panting with hunger and so thin that you could see his rib cage. They all helped to rub him down and then looked on as he ate ravenously. "Incredible! Magnificent!" said the Frenchman. "And white, just like you said, white like the snow, and tame too. He will be the star of my circus. I shall call him Le Prince Blanc, the White Prince. He will have all his needs he wants, fresh meat every day, fresh straw every night. I love my animals, you know, they are my family. And this lion of yours, he will be my favourite son. Have no fear, young man. I promise you that he will never be hungry again." He put his hands on his heart. "As God is my witness, I promise it." Bertie looked up to the Frenchman's face. It was a kind face, not smiling, yet earnest and trustworthy. But even so, it did not make Bertie feel any better. "There, you see," said Bertie's mother. "He'll be happy, and that's all that matters, Bertie, isn't it?" Bertie knew that there was no point in begging. He knew that the lion could never survive on his own in the wild, that he would have to go with the Frenchman. There was nothing else for it. That night, as they lay in the dark together, side by side, Bertie made him one last promise. "I will find you," he whispered. "Always remember that. I will find you. I promise I will." The next morning the Frenchman shook hands with Bertie on the veranda and said goodbye. "He'll be fine, don't you worry. And one day you must come to France and see my circus, Le Cirque Merlot. It is the best circus in all of France." Then he left, the white lion in a wooden crate rocking from side to side in the back of the Frenchman's wagon. Bertie watched until the wagon disappeared from view. A few months later, Bertie found himself on a ship steaming out of Cape Town, bound for England and school and a new life. As the last of Table Mountain vanished in a heat haze, he said goodbye to Africa, and was not at all unhappy. He had his mother with him, for the time being at least, and after all, England was nearer France than Africa was. Much nearer.